hey, you worked with Jim Carrey.
I did. I did. I drew his studio, his art studio in New York.
Oh, you drew his studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
The interior of his studio.
Right on.
That's wild.
It's funny. I was going to bring it. I was going to bring it to show you.
Yeah, I wish you did. You did show me once.
So how did all that come about?
I think it's in. I think it's in the New York watercolor book, the drawing. How did that come about? Well, I'd spent probably 14 years on Thompson Street, just off of Bleecker, and then the one time I went down, they were repairing Thompson Street, so it was closed off. So someone mentioned to me, someone I knew down there mentioned that you should check out the West Village. And I said, oh yeah. So I took a walk over, and I walked up this street called Perry Street, and I kind of, somehow I just thought, this is a cool bunch of drawings I could do here, right? And I parked where I had just pulled up into. I parked under a nice tree, and got to know some of the people, started doing some of the drawings. And it was probably, I was there for a month, and someone said, you know, you're parked up front of Jim Carrey's studio, you know.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know. And funny that I actually had met Jim by being there,
Okay.
but I didn't know it was Jim Carrey. I just knew it was this guy I had a chat with every now and again. And then one day he says, he had introduced himself, and he says, I want you to draw the inside of my studio. I knew it was his studio, but I didn't know if this guy I was saying hi to every morning
What's Jim?
was Jim
Was The
Carrey.
Mask and Ace Ventura and Liar
Yeah.
Liar.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
funny how you don't, when you run into people that are famous like that, you really don't know that it's them. It's really weird.
Yeah, sometimes that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in a different sort of reality, I
It's a
guess.
different
Or
context.
Different context, yeah.
Yeah. And I think I've met quite a few people, but that are quite famous, but they don't come across like they're famous. They're
Pretty normal.
They're
Normal people.
really normal. Yeah.
Well, we work with a lot of really famous
Yeah,
people,
You guys too.
and they're just normal.
Yeah.
Like when on a personal level, man to man, man to woman, however it works out,
Yeah.
they're just normal.
Yeah.
Fame is an illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah. Wealth is too.
Yeah, could be.
That's a real sickness, that wealth thing.
I'd like to be more elusive that way, illusion-y.
Yeah,
A little bit more.
Yeah. I always think the worst thing that happens in your life is you die with $100,000 in the bank. Why?
Totally. You should have bought
Do you
another.
know how long it takes to save $100,000
Yeah.
and you didn't spend it?
Yeah. True.
You know, and you didn't give it to somebody that at
That
least you would have got a thank you for,
That's true.
you know? So anyway,
So you were at Jim Carrey's for how long?
a week.
And you drew it, and what did he do with that?
I don't know.
But you gave it to him.
Well, he bought it.
Oh, he bought it. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. And I did a black and white collage. He kind of said, I said, do you have an idea of what I would do? And he says, I think whatever you did would be fine with me. So I did this collage, and then I had it printed and did a watercolor over top the print. He bought both the original drawing and one of the printed
Colored ones.
colored printed.
Oh, very
And
cool.
what was his studio like? Did you were you taken by it?
I wish I'd have brought the picture, Andrew, because, and again, it might be in that New York book. there was a fan. There was a what do you call those balls that sparkle off?
Like a disco ball.
Disco ball.
Okay.
So they're in it, and there was a table pretty close to the size of this table, except maybe half this way, but that long, and it was full, three high of tubes of paint. That table went into the picture, and there was a little sit down area that went into the picture with a couple of people that he had working on a computer doing some work for him. So they're in the picture, and then the guy that his chauffeur, he was up front in this little waiting space, and then Jim was painting this painting between two of his paintings that were 9 feet by 16 feet, 8 feet by 16 feet, these two paintings he had done.
Unreal.
And he was doing this painting, and there were these little child's footprints going up the wall right beside where he was painting. And as I found out, they were his from his daughter when she was a little girl, right? So those went in the painting. So stuff like that went in
Oh, that's nice.
the drawing and the painting.
Must have been a pretty cool studio to be in and draw.
It was great being around him. I watched while I was doing that in a week. I watched him finish a deal for a building that he bought just over the Brooklyn Bridge, right? Some guy coming in, some real estate guy coming in, and he finally signed a deal that bought this building across the bridge.
Wow.
Stuff like that, you know, it's like, guy blew my mind. And then when he went to pay, when I had it done and I had the colored one done, I brought him down to him, and this guy that had been sitting, his chauffeur that had been sitting, when I brought him in, Jim says, I guess we're paying you cash, eh? And I says, well, that's what we talked about. And he turns to this chauffeur and he goes, do we have the cash or do we have to go get it? But he goes, no, I got it here in my bag.